Another beautiful Saturday morning, and it's another time for us to welcome you to the best weekend show in the planet. I'm talking about the weekend show on ABS television this beautiful Saturday morning. Today is the 26th day in the month of May 2018, and it's a beautiful day to be alive and strong. Good morning to you and welcome to the weekend show. I am Ife Aaron.
And I am David Obukwasi. Here today we are looking at several issues. There is certainly a reason for you to stay back and enjoy this edition of the program, The Weekend Show. This is where to be. Any other place is wrong as far as Saturday morning is concerned.
Yes, Dave, it's so good to see you this morning. You're looking all dapper. You're looking casual, but I love what I'm seeing.
I think it's a result of a very wonderful, splendid week. Okay. And I certainly enjoyed my week this week.
Really, yes, we did. Because we came up with something, during the week. I mentioned it last week that we were going to come up with a platform where young people can talk and young people can be heard. Because I'm done with having analysts who are on TV or radio because they are rich or influential. Now it's time for us as young people to create our own space where we can talk, we can have our fair share of talk time on TV or radio.
And also make contributions to what is happening in society. There's this challenge that what we do, or the young people doesn't have a voice.
Yes.
They are neglected. They are not given a platform. So that bold Nigerian youth on social media is one place where you have the opportunity to make your voices known. Just like the page and join in the conversation.
Exactly. What Dave is talking about is Bold Niger Youth. It's a group on Facebook. Bold Niger Youth. Yes. And that is where we'll be having a conversation. Young people from across Nigeria on that group. So all you have to do to be part of this community of young Nigerians who want change, who are able to come up and be vocal about national issues, what you have to do is to join us on Bold Niger Youth. Like the page and join the conversation. Over the past week, we had lots of discussions. A lot of things happened. And what we're doing is to bring them to the platform and have young Nigerians comment on these issues. Believe me, there's been a lot going on the groups over the week.
Stories come up every week and people comment.
Exactly.
Adding their voices, being heard. I think that's the most important thing when it comes to a democratic and civilized society.
That's
ability to express yourself in a civilized manner, not causing people, but ability to say that thing that you have in mind.
Sure. And if you're already on Bold Niger, we welcome you onto the group where we'll definitely have conversations for the young and bring into light national issues and what we, the young ones, think about these issues. We also had the first discussion for last week, our discussion on the 2018 budget on the group. So if you missed that conversation where we're talking with Dr. Justin Wankwo of the Federal Polytechnic Oko, you can definitely get that video on Bold Niger Youth on Facebook.
Or even on our YouTube handle, absradiotv.com.
But it's easier if you're on Bold Niger, it will direct you to our YouTube channel. So you'll watch and see what is going on there. All right. Well, this is the weekend show and we're having a great time already. It's always good to talk with Dave every weekend, and we have a lot lined up. Just for you to know, tomorrow is Children's Day, the 27th of May 2018, and we're so delighted.
Very, very delighted.
I'm a child. Yes. Yes.
Whenever Children's Day come up like this, I begin to reminiscence on our past, what it used to be like.
No matter what you say, I know that I'm a child because my mom is there, and I am her child.
All right.
Yeah, so I'm a child. Right. So to every Nigerian child out there, we're wishing you happy Children's Day in advance. It's tomorrow, and then we are preempting the show. So if you're a parent out there and your child isn't already watching the show, please call them to watch the show, because this one is specially dedicated to all the hardworking, beautiful young children who are out there doing well, going to school and being fantastic. What of those on the street? This edition is also for them.
It's also for them because this is when we give them voice.
Sure.
Some of them don't have who to talk to. Some of them might not even have opportunity to have access to television to watch us. But being on this program will give you a sense of belonging to when you see them. You know that there are challenges these young ones are also passing through.
Exactly. So welcome to the weekend show once again. In just a moment, we'll catch up with stories from the past week. You know, a lot of things happened. And guess what? We're able to discuss a range of things on Bold Nigeria Youth. So we'll be bringing some of these discussions live on the show today. I can't wait. I'm buzzing. I'm going to talk, about these issues. And just in case you commented on some of the posts that we had, don't worry, your comments will be live on TV this morning. We'll be right back after now. Yes, you're still watching the weekend show on ABS television, and yes, this is the catch-up segment where we'll get to talk about issues on the news. Just in case you haven't been following up, if you've had a long week working, don't worry, you'll catch up on some of the stories that you mustn't miss. I'm sure that Dave is waiting with the first story that we really want you to know about.
Yes, specifically last week, the state government issued a ban on Okada, which is to start on July 1st, 2018, especially on Okadas in the state capital territory,
and Onitsha.
Oka, and the commercial nerve center of Anambra State, Onitsha, by the way. So those are the places we are going to look at. What are the effects? What are the issues? What are the gains? What are the concerns? What are the issues being raised? Particularly, the state government said that the purpose of banning Okada in Oka and Onitsha is to reduce the security concerns.
Exactly.
Crimes that are being committed with security. And we were on Board Nigeria asking the question, what do you think are the advantages? There were varying opinions and varying issues that came up. But I think to an extent, this ban would leverage on what the state government has been able to do on reducing crime and criminality within the metropolis of the state.
Exactly. When talking about this issue, there are lots of things concerned. That's why we're talking about, if there's a projection on the screen, I'm sure that will be on the screen in just a moment. We're talking about ban on Okada. You can actually see an accident situation, given the fact that those people were traveling on bikes, that is Okada. So yes, we can find things like this happening around places, cities where Okada is a major means of transportation. But then, that's not to say that I actually use that a lot, because sometimes you have to race against time, and at that time, you're not able to get a vehicle instantly. Yes. The next thing you're thinking is, please, Okada,
and there are certain places that a vehicle might not be able to fly.
Yes.
Because of
bad roads.
Maybe not bad road per se, but seclusion. Maybe it's a small road, and then maybe commercial bus drivers doesn't feel this place is economically viable for them. So those are the things that might make someone to
prefer a bike.
Prefer a bike.
Yes, but for me, I think that the major reason why I would go for a bike is, or Okada, like we know in local parlance, is because of bad roads. There are some places that even if you drive, you wouldn't want to go to that place with your own private vehicle. So the best option is to go on a bike. But then we find that there's a lot of criminality all over the place. We know that, and I think it's easier for criminal elements to use bikes in that regard. But that's not to say that we don't have genuine Okada riders who are identified with unions. But to that extent, we're looking at, what's the consequence of this kind of situation? What's the gain? Yes, reduced criminality if you like. But then some people are actually saying, what if criminality rises? And that is why the state government has come out to say, yes, we can work things out. We can talk about it. So definitely the governor didn't say, from now there's a ban. There's a window period between now and the 1st of July. I'm sure that there'll be dialogue, between the government and the unions. So it's just a situation of no mercy for anyone who hasn't identified with a union. And most people are actually not with the unions. That's the
exactly.
reason, that's the problem.
So,
that
somebody
have.
just comes up and gets an Okada to
Yes,
ride.
and the next thing, he's on the street
making money and becomes a bad name
yes,
for the organizations.
Yes, exactly. So to that extent, we're looking forward to the outcomes, the dialogue, and all the aftermath of this ban. But of course, we know as well that the Commissioner for Information and Enlightenment has come out to as well give reasons why this ban has to be in place at this time. Anambra deserves to be as modern as possible. But we know, of course, that the governor and his team, they don't go into things without thinking about how to make it manageable. Yes, for the people. So to that extent, we're hoping that in the coming weeks we'll find out what the government is doing and how they want to manage the situation so that the gains will be more than the concerns. Now we're moving on to the next thing.
Also brought up the news of the second Niger Bridge project.
Okay.
The Minister of Works, Power and Housing, Mr. Babatunde Fashola, was in Anambra State sometime at the end of last week.
Yes, that was last Sunday. Yeah.
Yes, and he went to monitor some of the projects being carried out by the federal government in the state, and he made a very catchy statement. He urged governors to not to begin to work on federal roads until they receive approval from the federal government.
Now, well, I understand because, he gave a reason. He said that the debt burden is very high on the federal government. Imagine everybody will come up with amount as in quotation on what they've done in their states that the federal government would have to repay them. But then the burden on the federal government is what he doesn't want to, continue to have. The fact that almost every state they've been doing things, and at the same time everybody is asking, pay us. So that is why he said, at least tell us that you want to do something.
And you won't blame state governments when they carry out these projects without maybe due approval.
Sure.
Because they are the people that are in direct contact with the people.
Exactly.
It is the state governments that apply these roads. Most of the appointees that apply this road, they know, they feel the impulse. If Enugu Onitsha road is not good, the community will ask maybe one of the SAs from the community, what is happening to this road? They don't know the federal government. They might not have, they know them, but they don't have direct access to them like they do to the state government. So you see, at times, these federal agencies might be delaying, but the state government will say, let's come into this issue and save the situation.
Yes, but then we're saying, at least if you want to do something, tell me.
Yeah.
But then the issue there is, even when the request is made, what's the period of waiting?
Yes,
how long will we
exactly.
have to wait? So all of these things, there should be modalities, there should be a framework. You make this request, and in a certain time, a certain period of time, you get a response on whether to go ahead, and what you tell us how much it would take, so that by the time you're done, you'll be repaid. Because if you've seen ABS website, yes, I think that was yesterday. There's this story emanating from the House of Assembly, and they were requesting repayment of debts owed the states by the federal. So this is the kind of things that the minister is saying. We don't want this to continue. Let us have everything spelled out. This is how it's going to be. This is how. But we're saying, let there be a guideline. Let there be a system. Let there be a process. And there shouldn't even be preferential treatment. It should be fair, free and fair
to everybody
as well.
As far as the state is concerned, everyone is part of this process.
Exactly. And then, just before we round off, Not Too Young to Run bill, the campaigners staged a peaceful protest in Abuja. And what were they asking for?
They're asking for the bill to be signed on the 29th of May.
More like Democracy Day gifts. So we're looking at the possibility.
The federal government. Let's see what will happen on 20. Let's see if the federal government will give these gifts to Nigerians.
I won't turn off my radio, neither my TV, to watch how the federal government will spring to the situation and possibly do what we're expecting, because I would like to run. You? Won't you?
I think I would.
Are you sure? Well, I'll support you, and then you also support me. All right, all the stories are on Bold Niger Youth on Facebook. You can also follow us www.facebook.com/ABS Radio Television on our website as well. And then you can like Anambra Broadcasting Service on Facebook. You'll get all this detail and get your your voice heard as well. This has been the catch-up segment, and in just a moment, we'll be talking parenting in Nigeria with the people who should know.
Yes.
In just a moment.
Yes, welcome back to the weekend show. This is where you're supposed to be on a Saturday morning. And today we are discussing parenting the Nigerian child in light of the 27th May, which is the International Children's Day. For me, whenever this day comes up, is like I remember what happened when I was younger. I remember several of our childhood memories.
I enjoyed my childhood to a very large extent. It's like adulthood comes with a burden.
With a burden and
yes,
responsibility.
Exactly. But then the good thing is when you're well parented, you're ready to tackle any challenge that might arise when you become an adult. And that's why we've invited two people that should know what it's like to parent the Nigerian child. Join us, welcome, Mrs. Ifeoma Mobolu. She is an education counselor. Good morning, ma'am. Good to have you on the weekend show.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes. And we also have Reverend Canon Onyeke Womo. He is an Anglican clergy, as you can see. Good to have you, Reverend, on the weekend show.
Thank you for inviting me.
Okay. And now, yes, we're talking about the Nigerian child. And the reason why we invited an education counselor and a clergy is because these are people who deal directly with the children. So we feel that the views you'll tender here will be views that definitely will change things going forward. Now, let me start with Mrs. Ifeoma. She's actually my teacher from primary school. She was my primary 5 teacher, so it's so good to have her on the show. I remember when you used to talk to us on the assembly ground. You know, one thing we know about Auntie is that she's a born-again Christian. And each time she'll talk to us about what it means to be a better child. Now, Matt, you have really done well for yourself, teaching for long, you know, all those years you taught before you started working with the government. Now, what can you say regarding parenting in Nigeria? Would you say that Nigerian parents have done well?
Well, what I will now say is that most of the parents are not doing exactly what they're supposed to do, because most of them, they are interested in their welfare, how to get money and all that. And as a result, they have neglected what they're supposed to do, their real duty in their own house. And that is why they have now left the taking care of their children into the hands of the nannies and the school authorities. And this thing has been affecting our society greatly, as far as I know, because when you now, maybe you have your intention the way you wanted to bring out your child, and you now hand these children over to somebody whom you cannot even say exactly what was in their motive, because I know that everybody will like this is, I want my child to be my image. I want my child to represent me. I want my child to follow this way, to go like this. How can you now say exactly that that's your aim is to fulfilling that child? Because for me, I will say that most of the parents have failed it. And our children, you may be saying that they are too small like that. They are very crafty. Most of them are very intelligent. And mostly what they really need from you is actually your own action. Not, please, do not do this. How are you nurturing and seeing that exactly that thing you're giving to them are being carried out? Because many of them, when they see you, daddy is coming, you will now see them. They will start to do as if they have been doing that thing you ask them to do. And the most of us are just saying do. They are getting what you are doing exactly. If you say, do not do something like this, you that is insulting these children, are you doing the same thing?
Exactly, yes.
Because if actually you told the children that they should not do something like this, they are learning by example and not by saying. And if they now watch that, what daddy is saying or what mommy is saying, they are not doing it. If, for example, anytime somebody comes to your house, you will not say, tell the person that I'm not around. What are you trying to teach a child? But you will be telling the child, do not tell lies.
Reverend, as a priest and a parent as well, how do you assess the situation parenting the Nigerian child? Do you think we've done enough? Do you think there are some places that we should come in?
I don't want to generalize that we are not doing well. Neither will I say we are doing well. Parenting is a job.
Parenting is a job.
It's a responsibility given by God. No one can
go on.
No one can say is
go on.
No one can parent very well when you are not with God. It is a God's given assignment. In marriage, a lot of people marry without knowing what they are marrying for. When a man is up to an age of marriage, you just go and marry without having a blueprint of the future of the marriage. So a lot of people have made a lot of mistakes concerning that. But there are people who exactly know what they want in marriage. So I wouldn't want to generalize, just like mommy is saying, some parents are not there on hand with their job. Some are there. Some prefer giving out their children the work of parenting their children to maids or nannies. No, that is wrong. Because your maid can only be a house help, not to take care of your children.
Not a parent.
Not a parent. Your maid is a house help, helping you to keep other things in the house, but not to keep your children. Because there is something God expects you to impact as a man. There is something you impact in your child. As a woman, there's something you impact. So feminism and masculinity should go hand in hand in bringing up a child. And it baffles me when people give birth outside wedlock. It baffles me when after wedlock or marriage, people separate, leaving the fate of the child to an unknown, to uncertainty. That is not what God wants.
Okay, you mentioned that parenting is a job.
Yeah.
Madam also mentioned that we face maybe economic concerns against what we should be doing of parenting. How do you now marry this together when there is serious economic demands on the parents to meet up with the financial situation of the family and the challenge of taking care of the kids? How do you come in here?
Yes, I'm aware of the economic situation. That's why when God was about giving Adam Eve, Adam was already provided with a job. A lot of men are irresponsible as far as job is concerned. They are lazy. Many men are lazy. So when they marry, they leave everything for the wife. The wife will pay for the house rent. The wife will bring food in the house. The wife will pay for children's school bills and other things like that, without the man being not even closer to the children. So in parenting, there is something a man will bring to help the woman. It's true that men and women are going after one employment or the other, leaving the main employment God has given them. There's no way you should not have time for your children. In the morning by 5 o'clock, the man has gone out.
And
But the woman will follow after 1 hour. And they will come back late in the night. What happens to these children for this rest of the hours they have left them? Even some of them will not even mind the school that are sending their children. You don't even know the teacher that is teaching your child. That is an absurd. When you don't know the teacher that is teaching you, what kind of person he is, what values does he speak? What does he teach you? Because in some of these things, you listen to your children when they will say, "My teacher said this, my auntie said, my uncle said this," even against what you are saying.
They believe the teachers even.
So it's a job in the sense that you bring out your time.
Exactly.
You give time to your employment to make ends meet. You also give the same time to your family. Be there. When sometimes a man will close work by 5 o'clock or maybe 4 as a civil servant. The next time he will come back to the house is late in the evening when the children must have slept. And then early in the morning he will go out again. What is the children learning from you? Sometimes they pay for school bus that will be coming to carry their children. The time you take your child to the school is enough time to impart something in your child, to talk, to communicate with your children. That's why like myself now, I don't pay for any school bus.
I've seen you.
I will take my children in my car, and as I taking them, I'll be discussing with them, I'll be talking with them, I'll be communicating with them. That will make me find out what is lacking, or the knowledge they are imbibing which is not in conformity with my family values. So that is what a lot of people, it's a job. I continue to maintain is a job. There are paid jobs. There are jobs that is an investment.
Yes.
So parenting is an investment.
It's a responsibility as well as an investment. I've got it because I actually wanted to ask, and I think I'll come to you, Mommy. When it comes to parenting, I think that some people out there will be asking, so what is parenting in the real sense of it? Reverend has given us an indication that it is a responsibility as well as an investment. You don't expect to be paid for it. But then there is a higher pay. Yes, when you do it well. Now, what can you really say is parenting in the real sense of the word? What is parenting? In this sense, good parenting.
Okay, like what the Bible said concerning what the Bible said, it said, train up a child in the way he should go. When he grew up, he will not depart from it. I believe that parenting is teaching, is training, is inculcating good knowledge and good habits in the life of a child, bringing the fear of the Lord in that child. Because in our society today, parenting is not just buying dummy for a child, buying clothes, plaiting hair.
Yeah.
For a child, making the child to be better. When you go near that child, you will now discover that there is nothing. So most of them, like what I'm saying, we now think that because I have kept something for them to eat when they come back from school, that they are now doing the actual job. Do you know that near our house, most of the children born by some parents will stay outside till almost 7 o'clock until my husband will carry something and start pursuing. Go to your house. They will tell him that my mother have not come back. My father have not come back. Then how do you expect? You will see them moving like wild animals. And when they grow up with such character and such life, I wonder what you expect such a child to do. It is not fair. And that is one of the problems. And you, as a parent, you cannot even give account on what your child can do and what your child cannot do, because you have not been staying closer to them. Because children learn bad things fastly more than good things. And like what I said, if you are closer to them, you will be able to know those that are their friends. And we'll be able to know when you say, no, I don't want this one. I don't want this one. Yes, it's actually that things are very hard. But it is something that we gather heads together, because these children, they are given from God, and the God actually will ask us to give him account concerning this. So they are souls. We are not dealing with just ordinary animals. And that is why when they grew up like that without closer observation on them, when a child started to behave the way the person is behaving, it will affect the family, affect the nation, affect everybody around them. Because when you see some ugly character manifesting out from your daughter or from your son, you'll be able to say, when did this? But this one, you don't have time. Somebody that left home from 5 o'clock, maybe 6 or 7, then you are coming back. You did not even care. How did they take care of the house? Everything will be in the hand of a maid. The food, whether they eat or not, you cannot even know exactly what is actually happening where your child is. But if you are looking at the child, staying closer to them, maybe you'll be able to know when a child started to change.
History, yes.
And that will help you to direct. They are just like a yam. You stake it on time, make it before it will be okay. But if you leave it and it is something is strong, you will find it very hard to break. The highest thing you will think, you will talk, you beat. There are some of them you will use cane on, and before then, the cane doesn't even enter into them. Wow. So the best thing is taking proper care, both in prayer, both in teaching, both in training. Exactly the norms of the family. This is what our family wants, and this is not our family don't want. This is how we do it. But when you continue to hand them over to somebody, the person you are handing these children over to, how can you say that they are directing these children the way you really want it to be? And it is you, especially the man in the house and the woman, that God will ask questions concerning these lives. And not even nanny, and not even the teachers. The teachers can only do their own. The next remains for you to do it.
In fact, the bulk of the work is on parents to ensure that children are well raised. Well, but then what about this trend in the school system where children get to spend long hours in school? Some of them almost live in the school. And then you also have the trend of children out there hawking because their parents are indigent. What about that?
Before you address that, I think it's very, very essential. I had a situation, I think last year I made a Facebook post about having to leave your kids in school till 5 p.m.
Okay.
The kid leaves to catch up with the school bus 7 a.m. And then by the time the school will be over, and then for what's it called? The moral classes, it ends around 6. And by then, a kid of less than 10 or 9. How do we address this?
Yes, but then we'll react to that after the short break. Don't go away. This is still the weekend show on ABS television, and of course we're talking about long hours in school. You know, some children, whenever you see them coming home from school, it's already 6 and the child is already tired,
looking
dirty
exhausted,
and everything. So I'll take Reverend out. How long do your children spend in school?
It's really a matter. Because I don't know how to change it. That's the school system, that's the school timetable. But it gives me concern because it denies me sometimes with my children. When I take them to school by 7 o'clock and we go and bring them by 5 p.m. It doesn't. But that's the school system. We correct that through the school. We correct that through what we are saying here. We correct that with the government. When the Minister of Education will say, no child will exceed so in school, then every parent will know they should go there and bring back during our own time. By 1 o'clock, you are on your way to home. So that you be near your parents, you know what they have sent you to do. Because education is not just writing, reading, and learning. the chores in the house is a part of education.
Yes.
Going to fetch water, going to watch plates, going to sweep these things are part of education. And taking your
Yeah.
So I think the government that approves schools, even private and the commercial, they will just tell the people, this is the time. From this time to no child is expected to exceed this time in school. And sometimes parents love the long stay in school. Some parents, so that it will ease them of their responsibility. You can't run away from your responsibility because you must take care of these children.
Okay, ma, you're in the education sector.
She wants to comment on that as well.
Okay.
She's actually an education counselor. Yes.
I think this falls in your ball.
So, like, what that is saying too much in the school. What do we say about it? Many, they are now saying that it is a modern world, but that is not the right thing to do, because you're supposed to know exactly how your child is living. And again, is that it is, that our society needs money, and because they need that money, they will not be able, actually that area is not okay, but because they need money, even if you give them that money to stay till 7, they will accept it because that is what they want. But in actual sense, it is not the right thing to do. Like what Reverend has said, the thing now depends on the Ministry of Education and all these people that are in charge of all these things. And if they did not do anything, you will now see some people, they will say, I will pay you. When I pay you, just take care of. They invite, if you call somebody nanny, and you cannot predict what is actually happening to that child. Hey, she's not well, she did not eat well, this and that. You think that it is okay. It is not okay. Even the caring, the love from you, that attachment is lacking.
Yes.
We need to do something about it.
Exactly. We need to do something about it. And now I have to come back to you, Reverend, because this issue is something that is actually something that we should balance. There should be a balancing. I know we have bankers, parents who are bankers, they have to work long hours. That's the demand of the job.
Yeah.
Lots of people, traders and all, even if you ask them to possibly, if you're asking for reduction of the time that children have to spend in school. I know, of course, that while I was in the primary school by 2, I'm already 1:30.
Yeah.
And sometimes I feel I stayed in school even. So I pity them, but then we have bankers, we have parents who, for genuine reasons, have to be working. Those who have shops, the next thing, the child is exposed because the child comes to join the parents at the shop.
Yeah.
And before you know it, there are wrong exposures. So how do we balance this? Is it possible to balance?
It's possible because you can't have the husband and wife working in the bank.
Okay.
Because I know when you get married to a banker, one has to. There is provision for that.
Yes.
So when it's the wife that is working for a long time in the bank, the husband, what is the husband doing?
Exactly.
The husband has to go and bring the children and stay with the children till the wife comes back.
Do men do that?
I think that's also an issue.
Reverend is a reverend. So
yes, some men do that.
He can.
Some men love staying with their children. Some men bath their children. Some men do those things the women do even better than their wives. They feed their children. Some men do that. It is only those who are irresponsible that don't do that.
Is it irresponsibility because the society teaches that the man should be masculine?
Yeah,
It is an irresponsibility because when you have a child, you know what you should do to your child. You don't leave everything to your wife.
Alright.
That is part of the family politics. Men do not know. You give everything to your wife. Your wife will feed the children. Your wife will bed them. Your wife will do everything for them. They will only know your wife, their mother. Everything revolves about their mother. They will say, one child was saying some time ago, I don't want my mother to die, but my father. You see that kind of thing because the father has nothing to give. It doesn't matter. The father is living a nonchalant attitude concerning the children. So when your wife is working in the bank, you are not working in the bank. Your job may be closing out. Even if you're a trader, you have some people helping you in the shop. You can leave the shop at a so time for those helping you in the shop and go and take care of your children, because it's a responsibility. Taking those children, care of those children is responsibility.
Wow.
It's part of what God has given you to do. It's not only making money, when you make all those money without enjoying them. Because when you have a good family, good children, you enjoy your wealth. But when you don't have good children, you don't enjoy that money. You die of stroke.
Sure.
So make a while the sun shines.
Well,
Okay, in a time like this, you cannot discuss. Okay, you want to come?
Let me just say something concerning how do we do it. Now that this thing is like this, there are so many people that got job where they are not supposed to get. Maybe if that job is disturbing the progress of the family, I think they can even have some discussion on how to do it. And they will be able to, if working, I have seen many people, even my own self, I will even take it as an example. There is a time I wanted to work with my husband in the same office, but because of family, I was not able to do that. So he asked me to stop, that he cannot be going for transfer from here to Sokoto, then you will be going from here to Lagos. How will the family look like? So if, like some people, if your wife is working in the back and you are working in the other area that warrants that the family will be neglected, the best thing you will now do is that you can look for a way out. Either you open shop for the wife so that when it's time, we can close at any time. And doing the job that will not disturb much, since one person may be going, then the other one will be taking care of the house. So that they will be able to take care of this case, because they are your strength, they are your help. If you just leave them like that, time is coming when you see that money is not all. That you actually need that retraining that will be able to be of great, even to these children. If you didn't train them well, they will never forget and what you have done to them. Because actually, when they come out, they may even realize what you have done to their life. So, and it will not all go well. So that is, my advice is that this is the right time to correct that issues. You will not say that because things are very hard, you will now, as a result, neglect the real thing God has given. And that is why we have so many bad eggs in the societies today. Because some of them say, will not even care. If the teacher now in the school touch your child, you can even go there to quarrel. Why do you touch my child? I don't want anybody to beat this child or flog this child. But that is a bit, I'm not supporting that.
Flogging.
Flogging
Auntie
is
used to
good.
flog us very well.
But when you now present it as an issue, you get like what Auntie is saying, making it to be the child will now see the teacher as an enemy.
Yes.
When actually it's being corrected.
Yeah.
The issue of parenting is something that we cannot
exhaust
finish. but finally, before we begin to round up, I want to ask, because we cannot discuss about parenting the child in a situation like this without talking about social media and the influence of the internet.
Okay.
How do we manage it as parents? Because the issue is some parents now are not, they don't know what's happening in the social media. And the kids are fast.
Very fast, more than them.
So what do we do in this situation? Reverend?
I think there should be a training and retraining on parenting.
Okay.
We should call parents to seminar. We should call. But in Nigerian setting and situation, when you call such seminar on parenting, most people will not go. They will not be interested. We are only interested in making money. We are only interested in making money. Money. Neglecting other vital issues of life. So there should be seminar in the churches. In my church, sometimes I devote some time teaching about all these things. It's not every time. Of course, some Bible support teaching what is relevant. It It is what is relevant that Jesus taught the people, what
Yes,
was around
at the
them.
time.
So in the church, in every other setting, even in the bank where people work, the manager of the bank, if he's a Christian, if he's somebody that has the heart of family, you can call your workers and teach them these things should be taught. There should be an organized seminar to know these things. In the marketplace, in the community leadership, so that people will know how they go closer to their parents. When you train your child very well, even if he goes into the social media, he will know what he or she wants and what he or she does not want in the social media.
Sure.
He will delete those things. He will not be giving to those things because that is not his family value or her family value. So the most important thing is inculcate some virtues from the scratch.
Okay, before we...
So under that social something, we have problems because what people they will go as far as anywhere to get things. Even what you will not even expect. Their friends, they will be discussing about it. And their friend will now tell them, I have one film. They can even be watching blue film in your absence. You see why you're supposed to be around to watch what is going on around your child. All these bad something things, they can only just watch a right thing when you are around. That is why we are talking that you cannot just leave these children like that. And the way you leave them like that and they continue to see what they are not supposed to see, it can change them. And before you were able to get or to correct it, something has gone wrong.
Okay, thank you very much, Mrs. Ifoma Mobolu, for this exciting moment, and Reverend Canon Onyeke Gwong. Thank you for coming. It's been an exciting moment having these two guests looking at parenting the Nigerian child in our society.